Good morning. I guess I better put these on. Good morning. I'm Representative Kurt Sonney, and I, along with Representative Jim Roebuck, are the chairman of the House Education Committee. And we're here today to talk about the steps members of the House of Representatives are taking to expand access to career and technical education for students and adults throughout the Commonwealth. This bipartisan effort began in 2015 when House Resolution 102 was unanimously adopted by the House of Representatives. This resolution created the Select Subcommittee on Career and Technical Education Readiness. The 8-member Select Subcommittee, which was co-chaired by Representatives Seth Grove and Representative Pat Harkins, conducted hearings around the state and heard extensive testimony from stakeholders to develop a report containing numerous recommendations on career and technical education. The Select Subcommittee's report included recommendations based on the following 5 objectives. Number 1, continue legislative oversight of career and technical education initiatives. Number 2, to address business and industry demands. Number 3, to strengthen education partnerships with business and industry. 4, to increase access to career and technical education programs. And 5, to confront misperceptions regarding career and technical education. The testimony and data compiled from these hearings form the bipartisan package of bills that we are here to discuss today. There are 8 bills in this package, 4 from Republican members and 4 from Democrat members. Last session, each one of these bills was unanimously approved by the House Education Committee and then went on to pass in the House. These bills aim to address workforce shortages, strengthen educational partnerships with business and industry, and increase access to career and technical education programs. The goal of these bills is to address the misperceptions that exist about career and technical education by highlighting the benefits of these programs, the training opportunities available, and the earning potential for the students. Additionally, Chairman Roebuck and I have introduced House Resolution 88. This resolution will designate February as Career and Technical Education Month in Pennsylvania, in the hope of raising additional awareness of the importance of career and technical education. I want to thank all of those that worked together in a bipartisan way on these 8 bills. I especially want to thank the prime sponsors of the legislation and the key stakeholder groups who helped along the way. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Chairman Roebuck. Chairman?
Thank you. Good morning. As the Democratic chairman of the House Education Committee, I'm proud to join my colleagues in announcing tangible reforms to career and technical education programs throughout Pennsylvania. As you know, career and technical education programs provide students with a visible pathway to economic independence and entry into the American middle class. Each year, countless Pennsylvanians participate in these programs and gain skills that are necessary to compete successfully in the workforce. In the 2016-17 school year, Pennsylvania served over 67,000 high school students in CTE programs. This is an increase of more than 3,000 students from the year before. Our bipartisan package of legislation would bolster our efforts to ensure that each Pennsylvanian can achieve a career of their dreams without being weighed down by debt. In particular, my 2 bills would improve the delivery of these programs throughout our Commonwealth, especially to those who need access to them most. My first bill, House Bill 395, would allow CTE programs or a cluster of programs to establish occupational advisory committees at intermediate units to better serve the needs of students in their respective districts. Occupational advisory committees play a pivotal role in assessing industry standards and making sure that students are informed of these standards during the time the standards in their program. My bill would ensure that students are receiving skills and instruction needed to secure a career in their desired field. My second bill, House Bill 396, would ensure that workforce development boards include administrators from career and technical centers in their memberships. If we are to improve and strengthen our CTE programs, the concern of CTC administrators must be heard and properly addressed. This legislation not only builds upon the success of our CTE programs, it also gives stakeholders a voice to make necessary changes. I want to thank Chairman Kurt Sonney and my colleagues on both sides of the aisle for their support of this legislation. I look forward to implementing the recommendations we receive from the Select Subcommittee on Technical Education Career Readiness to see that career and technical education programs are more efficient than ever.
Many of the members that have prime sponsored the bills will now come up one at a time, and we'll give you just a brief presentation about what their bill looks to achieve and accomplish. And first will be Representative Stats with House Bill 265.
Thank you, Chairman Sonney, and good morning. I'm here to speak to House Bill 265, which would expand the online database for articulation agreements. I think we all know of situations where a student spends a lot of time and a lot of money on college courses and course-related materials, only to find out that the course credits do not transfer to a college or university that they plan to attend. Currently, the Pennsylvania Department of Education operates an interactive database that allows students and prospective students to view where courses transfer among Pennsylvania's community colleges, universities in the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education, or PASHE, and 5 independent colleges and universities that have chosen to participate. House Bill 265 expands this database to include articulation agreements entered into by Pennsylvania's state-related universities, including Penn State, Temple University, the University of Pittsburgh, and Lincoln University, as well as the Rural Regional College, Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology, and public schools. By expanding this database, students can make better, more informed decisions about their future post-secondary education. I thank you for your time.
Representative Mako on House Bill 297.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on 297. Real quick, I'm not going to belabor the point, but 297 was developed after the Select Subcommittee met and trying to dispel some, lack of a better term, misnomers of going to trade schools and skilled labor, and it came up with an idea of having the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry and Pennsylvania Department of Education to meet and develop a pamphlet for students and parents on career days to identify shortages in the Commonwealth and what potential earnings in the future would be with these shortages in the Commonwealth for skilled labor in the up and coming years. And hopefully this will identify and tackle the shortage that we're looking at in the near future for the Commonwealth. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next will be Representative Grove on House Bill 334.
Good morning. I want to just thank Chairman Roebuck and Chairman Sonney for making it a priority of the House Education Committee to move these bipartisan bills once again this session. I would also thank Chairman Hickernell last session for moving them. before that, Chairman Stan Saylor. We've had a couple education chairmen over the past few years. But Chairman Saylor for envisioning and moving forward for this select subcommittee to begin with. House Bill 334 does some very, very important aspects of career and tech education. Number one, when we took the select subcommittee to Philadelphia, we learned that Philadelphia School District was trying to create a new program for a new industry coming into the city. Unfortunately, it would take about 3 years for them to get a pilot program up and operational to provide job training for that job sector. We need to provide better, alleviate the administrative burdens within Department of Education for pilot programs to ensure that when new industries and new jobs come to fruition in this Commonwealth, K through 12 is able to adjust their programs to meet those needs moving forward. It also focuses on agricultural education and provide better outcomes for those programs as well. And again, I thank the chairman for their leadership and my colleagues for their leadership on this very important issue. Hopefully we can get these bills across the goal line to the governor's desk and then relook at the select subcommittee report and continue working on this very, very important issue. Thank you.
Next will be Representative Tobash, House Bill 522.
Thank you, and thank you, Representative Grove, and your leadership on this issue. I just want to thank Chairman Sonney and Roebuck again on their leadership and their continuity of commitment to this issue. And it's really the fundamental principle behind this is student success. The House of Representatives has focused on this issue, as mentioned, for a number of sessions. Initiatives like building awareness in Act 168 that was passed in 2016, eliminating some of the non-relevant standardized tests that were focused on academics instead of the skill-based knowledge that many students seek and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania needs. So this package of bills, again, focusing on student success and working on turning the tide on the job creators in Pennsylvania's #1 issue that I hear and challenge, and that's the ability to locate, attract, hire, and maintain the skilled workforce that they need in order to grow their business. I'm honored in this session to be presenting a bill that we worked on in last session. As Chairman Sonney mentioned, the bill passed almost unanimously from the House of Representatives, and what it does is it offers investment incentives for businesses, local businesses, to invest in local education entities, in local schools. The idea that we might be able to expand programs and provide additional resources that are needed in career and technical centers is very, very important today, and also the idea that we can support and expand enrollment. As mentioned before, for the last 25 years, a stigma has existed, but the marketplace right now is starved of people with skills in the trades, and these technical centers offer high-tech opportunities, and in the name of student success, I applaud the work of the chairman and the work of this committee, and hopefully we can move these efforts forward and really create in Pennsylvania a focused educational system that will allow us to grow the economy. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Tobash. And I would also like to thank Representative Tobash for his work last legislative session. He was the chairman of the the subcommittee on career and technical education, and it was through his efforts that produced the select committee, that traveled around the state and heard all of the testimony, which was really the driving force in developing these bills. Next, we have Representative Mullery on House Bill 394.
Thank you, Chairman Sonney. During our select subcommittee public hearings, it was noted that our efforts shouldn't be focused on reinventing the wheel by creating new programs. Rather, we should focus on encouraging the expansion of quality programs already in existence into other parts of the state or even statewide. However, before we can accomplish that goal, we must gather a complete accounting of existing CTE programs and use those programs as a model to build and foster local cooperation across the spectrum of stakeholders to improve career opportunities for students in their local communities. That's what my bill does. Under House Bill 394, the Department of Education and the Department of Labor and Industry would conduct an inventory of existing workforce development programs at both the secondary and post-secondary levels, with particular emphasis on opportunities for business education partnerships. The goal would be to share those best practices learned with the various entities to help improve the delivery of career-focused opportunities. As a Commonwealth, I think it's important that we train students for the jobs that will be available in the future, and successful CTE programs do just that. I, like my colleagues, would like to thank the chairman for leading our efforts. I also want to thank Governor Wolf for his commitment to career and technical education. And I'd like to thank members of the leadership team that have arrived here to show their support and identify how important this issue is for our young people moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Mullery. And I don't think Pat is here, correct? So Representative Pat Harkins, I'd like to thank Representative Harkins for the work that he put in with this, along with Representative Grove during the last legislative session. Representative Harkins has a bill, House Bill 393, which creates an online career resource center. And I believe that bill works with labor and industry to create a database of those available jobs and what they pay and where they're at, so that students would have a resource to be able to go to really get a good grasp on the entire picture throughout Pennsylvania, not necessarily just with their little local community. So, you know, I'm a product of career and technical education. I found it very beneficial when I was a young married man raising a family to continue to go to night school and take night courses in technical education, and it has served me very well throughout my life. And so I'm a big believer in career and technical education, and I really look forward to trying to advance those opportunities for all of the students across Pennsylvania. Chairman Roebuck, would you like any closing remarks? I'd like to thank our leader, Representative Cutler, for being here, and Donna Oberlander, our policy chair, for being here. So thank you. Is there any questions?
So is there an eighth bill? I'm counting 7 number of bills that have been mentioned so far. Am I missing something?
Chairman Roebuck has 2. Did you get those 2?
Okay, he has 2. Okay.
Yes.
395 and what else? Was that the road?
396. 95, 96. Yes.
This is more Representative Grove. Does your bill this time around touch on what was in a bill that you introduced last session, HB 2157, with the ag education?
Yes.
Does it rectify what the governor cited with the Perkins loans that?
I did meet with the administration a couple weeks ago, and the language that was introduced it mitigates that concern.
Anyone else? Yes.
All these are set to pass either this week or next week, is that correct?
I believe it's a couple of weeks when we come back after the appropriation hearings. Yes.
If I may, just a comment. I want to applaud all of you for putting this together. I believe career technical education is very important to us. And I find in my area that the guidance counselors are not pushing in that direction. And I think that's something that it's a training process that we have to do with them as well, to let them know that there is another option instead of pushing them off to a four-year college. But thank you. It's a pleasure listening to you.
Thank you. And yes, these are really about creating that awareness, you know, that the students know that these exist. Anything else? Thank you.